Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we're going to be looking at the Marvel Select Rhino figure. Now this guy is a big figure, as is common for the larger Marvel Selects. He stands about 9¼ inches tall to the top of his horn. He weighs probably 2 pounds. Really heavy figure, solid vinyl or whatever plastic that is, ABS. Really heavy figure, pretty cool. I'm not into Marvel Selects particularly, but one of my customers actually sent it to me as a gift, so here it is. And I mean, it's a cool figure. I don't know if it's enough to make me want to get into the Marvel Select line, pretty much just because the articulation is horrible. The sculpt is pretty good. As you can see, he's got nice texturing throughout the entire body. The head sculpt is pretty good. I mean, he looks cool, but the articulation is bad. So let's get into it. The head is on an old school type of ball joint, so it can go in any direction, just not very far. Really the only good motion is the side to side swivel. As far as forward and back, it's very limited, which sucks for Rhino because I'd like to get his head down a little bit farther. And then the side to side is also pretty limited, but it is there. The shoulders are on ball hinges. They have pretty limited range of motion. They can't go up much higher than that. They of course can swivel, so I mean that's probably good enough for the shoulders, but it's not a huge range of motion. There's no bicep swivel. There is a ball hinge for the elbow, so you have almost 90-degree bend for the elbow, and of course it rotates, so that's where you get the bicep swivel, but it's pretty much that's it. So yeah, I don't know. And then the wrist has a swivel as well. I should note that the elbows are pretty ugly when they are extended, so leave those up. The torso is on the diaphragm joint, pretty good side to side, not so much front and back. It's pretty limited. That's all you're going to get out of it. I'm pretty sure you could pop that apart and fix that if you wanted to, but you shouldn't have to, so I'm going to mark that as not so great. The side to side though is pretty good. The hips, same kind of hips I think as the Marvel Select Hulk. They're pretty limited. It's just, I think, yeah, it's a ball hinge, but it's very limited. So you can see that in there. You can swivel on the disc right there, and then it swivels on the peg that holds the ball in. So it's also very, very limited. The knees, same type of thing as the elbow. They rotate around on the peg, and then they have the disc joint in there. So it's very limited, and it's pretty ugly, and it's kind of loose. So it's not the best articulation at all. The ankles, on the other hand, are the same as the new Marvel Legends, where they have the hinge in there, and then they have that new ankle rocker. So the ankles have the best articulation out of the whole figure. The only problem is you're not really going to get to use them too much because the rest of the leg articulation is very limited. So this guy, do I recommend getting him? I don't know. I wouldn't pay a whole lot for him because pretty much he's a posable statue. You can't do a whole lot of posing with him, so he's going to end up standing mostly still most of the time. Maybe a little bit of an angle like that, but not too much more. So it's a pretty cool figure. I'm thankful that my customer sent it to me, but I can't say it is good enough to get me into the Marvel Select line. Paint is pretty good throughout. There's dry brushing for all the gray. Could have been better. The fingernails are painted, the toenails are painted, and of course the face is painted. There's no shading. Well, there's a tiny bit of shading in the face, but it's almost not noticeable. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.